Hi, it's Pete here from Terribly Horrible. Now, we're going to talk about a film that I've been very interested in watching. I've heard numerous people talk about this film. I've heard a lot of good things. Now, I watched this and I'm going to tell you whether the things that I've heard were really true. The film in question is When Evil Lurks. Now, I went into this film fairly unaware of the details. I made a point of making sure I didn't know too much about it. I wanted it to be a surprise. I didn't want my point of view being tainted too much by what other people have said. So of course, I looked at a couple of reviews that didn't have any spoilers in, and then I sat down and I put it on. The synopsis is two brothers. One night, hear some noises, and they go out to investigate, and they find a torso. Now, the torso is ripped in half, so you've got legs and body somewhere else, and it's all quite graphic, you know. Thumbs up from me, by the way. And this is really within the first sort of 10-15 minutes, so you're off to a great start with this one. The guys then visit their neighbour to see if they're okay and whether they know anything about the torso or the noise. And on talking to her, they discover that in one of the rooms in their little hut is a rather bloated, disfigured member of her family, which turns out to be one of her sons.
What?
Wow. When you first see this son, it's quite shocking. It's pretty gory, and the special effects are spectacular. Well done for that. So, off to a really good start. The film kind of develops a little bit, and you start to realise that there is some kind of folklore going on, which is revealed as the movie plays out. I'm not going to go too much into any of that folklore here. Wow, it just really works. The pacing's great, there's always something happening, and it just flips you over and over and over. Again, I want to be really careful about how much I tell you about this movie. Without getting into detail, it turns out the brothers have to move this body, or corpse. Well, it's not a corpse because it's still alive, but it might as well be. It's rotten, pretty manky, and they have to move it. Now, it turns out there's ways that you should do this stuff. You know, in the world that the movie's set in, there's rules and ways and things that should be done in a certain order, and again, it really works well. If you're expecting your average possession movie, Exorcist, whatever, you're not going to get it. Instead, what you get is a very well thought out take on a possession movie. This rotting lump of disgusting pussy mass is what they call a rotten, and is just is a demon festering away, and they fear that it will infect evil on the rest of the town and the people. Again, I've got to be really careful about how much I tell you about this movie. It carries on from there, and you just follow the story, and it's like a roller coaster. It is full of very clever moments. Very clever moments. Jump scares. Graphic visuals. The dialogue is truly believable. Generally, all in all, it's a good film. But how good? Well, here's my summary. For me, I thought it started well. It bounced along quite nicely. There was enough to keep you hooked. The visual effects were great. The fresh take on the whole possession thing makes it a fresh concept. It drew me in pretty quickly from the start. It's filmed really well. I must say it is in Spanish, but there are subtitles, but it is worth sitting through it and just watching it. I mean, there are so many moments in this film where you'll just be like, wow, I was not expecting that. This is one of the best films I think I've seen this year.
Oh my god.
So, for me, I think, to round it up, visually great, effects are great, story's great, the acting is great, the way it moves along is great, the scares are great, and the ending is great. All in all, thumbs up. I'm going to give this one an 8. Yep, that's an 8 out of 10. The only reason I probably wouldn't give it a 9 or a 10, and this is a stupid dumb reason, is just because obviously it's got subtitles, and sometimes I find myself looking at the subtitles rather than looking at the screen. That's just me. Watch this film. This film is on Shudder. This is not a waste of your life. It's a cracking movie. Guys, if you disagree, tell me in the comments. Or if you agree, tell me in the comments. I'd be really, really interested to hear your thoughts on this one. For me, fantastic. So, get your asses out there, watch the film, and you will be pleasantly surprised. Now, if you want to hear more from me, subscribe, click like, and please comment below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. So until next time, adios.